I'm so glad that you're coming to another session. And today we're going to be talking about not going to bed mad. How hard is that to implement? Let me tell you, I have been around the block a couple of times, and I have talked to a number of sex counselors, marriage counselors, therapists, and they've mentioned don't go to bed mad. Well, that's a great saying, but how do you implement it? Very difficult. We can't take it literally. And the reason why is that means that we must be in the state that we are right now. And if you're mad watching this video, that's not the state. It really means that both of the partners, the people that are in the argument, that are about to go to bed, that they come to a meeting of the minds. The meeting of the minds is an emotional meeting. It is not necessarily an agreement. It is a physical aspect where you remain calm. You don't have that testosterone or endorphins or you're just got the jitters. I'll think of the word in a minute. But the whole idea is that it really means that you come together to agree, or agree to disagree. Now, most people run down the road where you've got to just hash it out. Well, that's not real, and the reason why is because there's a negotiation. There happens to be a technique in war where you find the date that it means more to the other person, and then you jump in on that, and then it causes turmoil because you have a short fuse and there's a lot of other conflicts and stuff going on in the background. And that's just not good communication. It's not good as far as negotiation, and it's just not fair. And remember that when you go to bed and you are not mad, it takes emotional intelligence, and that's a very operative word. And we need to figure out that one person has a grievance. The other person may or may not be taken by surprise. Well, that grievance, it needs to be talked about. And when I say talk about it, it's real simple. That if I say that you're leaving your clothes on the floor, and you say, I hear that you are I am leaving clothes on the floor, then what is the emotional impact? What is the impact to the relationship? We need to fight fair. We need to talk about the facts. We can't be bringing in stuff from the past. We can't bring in words like always or inflammatory words. It just doesn't work. And you've got to realize that maybe one person has to get up and work in the morning. Maybe one person gets up at 5:30 in the morning and the other one doesn't get up until 10. Well, you can see that that's just not going to work if you're just going to hammer out an agreement. No, that's not it. It's agree to disagree, set an appointment on when you're going to talk about it again, and write down what you feel, relax, get those endorphins going, be able to think about other things rather than the argument that you just had. You want to allow each person to be heard, each person's feelings to be acknowledged, each person's interpretations to be acknowledged, and each person's expression. All right, when we think we have to finish the argument right then and there, it leads to unfair negotiation tactics, argument tactics, and relationships just fly apart and create separation. And the other part about it is that some people may take this as an opportunity to crush their victims or be able to really disturb the other person so that they can't sleep. Reality is if you want a real acid test on not going to bed mad, have sex. And here's the deal. If the male is still mad, probability of him being able to get hard enough for penetration is rather low. On the other side, if the female, she's going to be just about as dead as there is, and she's not even going to look you in the eye. So what we want is a communication where there's no hard feelings, where there's no separation, where you feel trusted and respected and valued, and there's empathy. And we also have to understand that you don't need to back down. You just write out what you need to talk about. And we have rights when we argue or we're in a marriage. It is respect and value and trust. All right? Understand that once you start going down that road of separation, the marriage is not going to really be valued, and the trust is going to go downhill. And then you think you've got problems in the bedroom? Yeah, you got real problems in the bedroom. What you're looking for is harmony, being respected, heard. Those are the things. We also need to understand that most arguments can be avoided when you talk about and communicate on a regular basis, and you are open to this. And you can also set rules in the marriage that you start after the second cup of coffee. You never start a discussion after heated discussion after a certain point in the evening. My whole point is seek counseling. Go to a Reiki healer. Go to a therapist. Go to a pastoral therapist. Seek help. It is very important. And I'll give you a perfect example of a discussion where there is no meeting of the minds. It is just that you have to respect the other person, and you have to work out whether or not this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do 50% of the time, 30% of the time, 70% of the time, whatever. And that is, in a marriage, and this is from George Bernard Shaw, I like the guy, marriage is an alliance entered into by a man who cannot sleep with the window shut, and a woman who can't sleep with the window open. Think about it. Call me, comment. It's a tough one. When you lean in, it's going to give you great results. You have a great day.